appears as though on contacting Big Ramy and asking him about the Olympia, because a lot of people are wondering, will Ramy be at the Olympia?
And we are back with another daily bodybuilding news live, and we have tons of stories for you guys today. Big Ramy, he has spoken to people. Apparently he is a maybe or something to that nature for the 2023 Mr Olympia. So big news straight away there, and we've got all the info on that, where that came from, plus much more. Hassan Mustafa, who is his new coach, as he announces that. Brett Wilkin as well. We'll get off-season updates from him, plus much more. So let's get into this one straight away. And we'll start with the updates from Brett the Butcher Wilkin. I'll just add that to the stream right now so you guys can see what he's currently looking like. And in these latest updates, he looks fantastic. I mean, look at the conditioning for an off-season scenario for Brett the Butcher Wilkin. I mean, his abs are probably some of the best in the IFBB Pro League right now because they're thick. They're in pretty damn good condition. You can see legs aren't dialed or anything like that right now. But from the back, there's still a bit of lines in his glutes. His back looks huge, and just overall, very, very impressed with Brett Wilkin in these latest updates. But let me know your thoughts if you are watching this live as well. But overall, I am very, very impressed. And get in the comments if you are watching this one live also. Plus, more updates for you guys in this one. Blessing Awodibu, looking really, really good in his latest physique updates. Also, very, very impressed. 14 weeks out, I believe it's of the Chicago Pro. Also, guys, let me know if this stream's coming through clear for you as well. Hopefully it is, and there's no sharing issues there. But he's looking very, very big, and hopefully he brings it to the stage this year in terms of conditioning. But look at that. I mean, a lot of muscle on Blessing's physique right now, and I can't wait to see what it looks like up against these other top pros, because he's been at the Olympia, but he wasn't at his best at the Olympia. Had he been like he was at the Indy Pro, it would have been more interesting to see how he would have pushed up towards that top 10, in my opinion. And hopefully we see that version, or a better version even yet, of Blessing Awodibu at the Chicago Pro this year. Also, I want to encourage you guys, once you hear this news in this video, vote. Will Big Ramy compete at the 2023 Mr Olympia? There's 7 votes so far, but get in there and vote now. 86% of you are saying yes, 14% say no, and then I've got the option as well to say no, I think he's retired also. I've got that stream playing, so I'll get rid of that. I might be slowing things down a little bit. Now, onto a pro who I believe might be making a comeback. I think he's a phenomenal pro. We didn't get to see him much as a pro. I think he only competed maybe a few times. And that man that I'm talking about is Sassan Harati from the UK. I believe he's born, I believe he's Persian, I'm pretty sure. Now, he posted up this, legs looking pretty outrageous, huge hamstring hang, and I'll show you what he looks like when he competes as well. And I think he'll shock a lot of you guys because he hasn't competed in some time. Now, he says leg day today, end of training, so pretty pumped with the help from him. And he mentions JP nutrition, pumpage, pre-workout. And he says high volume work today, etc. But look at these updates. And then obviously the product picture there. And Sergio Oliva Jr., who we're actually going to have on a podcast very, very soon, actually recording it today, my time, with another few interesting guests. So stick around to the end of the video and I'll let you know who's on the next Bodybuilding University. Also, one went up a little bit earlier too with Chad Nichols Q&A. Very, very interesting. PED talk, all that sort of stuff. You guys will love that. Now, Sergio says he's back. And then Sassan, Harati says at Sergio Oliva Jr., handshake, and then a, sort of sunglasses, cool face. So it seems like Sassan Harati is going to be making a comeback to the bodybuilding stage. Now, he also posted up this one as well. So legs look pretty damn impressive, pretty damn good. Just chilling there, and we'll show you what Sassan, I keep going to call him Hassan because we have a story on him in this video. I mean, look at that physique. I mean, when he actually competed, I thought that he got a bit of a raw deal. I think Sergio Oliva Jr. was in that same show, and he thought he got a raw deal there as well. So for a guy who's competing against Sergio, I mean, it's what a compliment it is. I believe Sassan actually worked with Chris Aceto when he was competing at these shows, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't hold me to that. But what a physique. And I think this would be judged and favored very well in today's bodybuilding. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll get to your comments now just to make sure. Yep, the red loop, shout out my man. Sup, Big Zave, stream is clear. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. And let me know what you think about Sassan Harati and if you think he can make a big impact when he hits the stage in his comeback. And could it be? I don't know how old Sassan Harati is. I'm going to reach out to him, ask him a few questions. But the last time I believe he competed as a pro was back in like 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. So this is him around that age. He's obviously got a very fresh looking physique. So I don't know if he's Masters age now. But if he is, could he be another guy coming back to that Masters Olympia where we will get a battle between him, Kamalo Gagni, Josh Lenardowitz? Now the Masters Olympia would be picking up some steam, but I don't know if Sassan is actually that age or not. So I don't know what the red loop means. He says, did you see the hang on Sassan's? Oh, yeah, on his hamstrings. Absolutely insane. Insane. But yeah, very much looking forward to seeing Sassan Harati hopefully get back on stage because he's a phenomenal bodybuilder. And I'll go to a few more photos of him as well to show basically why I'm so excited for this guy to potentially make a comeback. You can see him here on the New York Pro stage. I believe he placed around 4th or 5th. And my belief of that show too was that he should be up there battling for the win. And I think Sergio thought the same. Look at that. I mean, such a pleasing physique, a good amount of muscle, great lines, great muscle bellies. There's not much to critique on Sassan Harati's physique. It really is a great bodybuilding physique, and it's a shame we haven't been seeing him on stage. That's obviously a before photo on the left and an after on the right. And yeah, what a great physique that is. And that's what we want to see on pro bodybuilding stages today, for sure. Absolutely. Now, I didn't actually bring this up. I was meant to do it pre-show, but Hassan Mustafa, I believe, has started working with Chad Nichols, who is actually just on the latest Bodybuilding University. So you can jump over there and check that out as well, where he talks about a lot of interesting things. And you can see here, this is how we found out. Excited is an understatement, pushing harder than ever. Hashtag Team Mayhem, and that's Chad Nichols. That's his team. If you Team Mayhem, you Team Chad Nichols. So it seems like Hassan, I'm going to call him Sassan now, Hassan Mustafa, is jumping on stage this year. He's a great bodybuilder. We'll go to some photos of him as well. You guys know him for having absolutely enormous legs, but overall, he's a mass monster because look at that upper body as well. He's got a ton of muscle. What he lacks in terms of clavicle width, basically that means like wide shoulders, he makes up for in just freaky muscle. And he worked with Cement Factory last year, and I thought he did fantastic. I actually thought that he would stick with, I'm trying to think of AJ Sims from Cement Factory because it was the best he'd looked in a long time. But for whatever reason, he has moved to Chad Nichols, and Chad Nichols is a phenomenal coach as well in his own right. And it'll be interesting to see how he looks under the guidance of Chad Nichols, obviously the coach of former Mr Olympia, Ronnie Coleman, one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time, and now Big Ramy. Also William Martins. He's got a ton of mass monsters that tend to obviously gravitate towards Chad Nichols. So yeah, Hassan Mustafa under the guidance of Chad Nichols, it seems. Now let's get on to the news story of this video. So it was broken originally by Dave Palumbo of RX Muscle on his channel, and he's discussing, basically contacted Big Ramy, and people through Big Ramy has let him know what his status is on the 2023 Mr Olympia. So let's listen along with Dave, and you guys can give me your opinion on if you think Big Ramy is out of the 2023 Mr Olympia. So let me just play this for you guys now.
It appears as though on contacting Big Ramy and asking him about the Olympia, because a lot of people are wondering, will Ramy be at the Olympia? Initially, that was the big plan, Ramy to do the Arnold first and then come back and do the Olympia. As of now, he is not sure. According to my source who contacted Ramy the other day, Ramy, quote, repeated the fact that he was not sure if he was doing the Olympia. It was not definitive by any means whatsoever. And the question.
So super interesting news if Big Ramy is out of the 2023 Mr Olympia, because I don't know if it was everyone just assumed that he's doing the Olympia. I can't remember if I actually heard it. I know I interviewed William Bonac and he said, "Oh, your Rami's doing the Olympia." So everyone had that, at least that assumption, and I thought that it was confirmed by some means, unless I'm making that up myself. But this is obviously on screen right now as Big Ramy at the 2022 Mr. Olympia, where he's a little flatter and that sort of, everyone thought he was coming into that show and it was going to be easily his title. But it wasn't the case, and he was beaten out by several bodybuilders, many bodybuilders really. In the end, four different guys beat him at that Olympia. He was much better at the Arnold. I thought he was slightly overlooked, in my opinion, but it's a not sure for Big Ramy for the 2023 Mr. Olympia. And does this mean, I don't want to start the full Big Ramy retirement talks again, but we did see Bob Chicarella interview him, and he said, "You're not doing anything until next year's Olympia." I interviewed Bob yesterday on yesterday's Daily Bodybuilding News Live, which go back and check that one out because there's a lot of interesting news in that one. And Bob said that he meant to ask like the next Olympia, not next year's Olympia. But Big Ramy, he sort of was like, definitely in Pittsburgh. He said, "You're not competing next year's Olympia," and Big Ramy confirmed that. So is Big Ramy out of the 2023 Mr. Olympia, and could this mean that Big Ramy is retiring or retired now? Who knows? I don't think Big Ramy knows that answer right now. We know he's going to get stem cells again. It seemed like it improved his physique a lot. You can see that quad hole on the screen right now. That was dramatically different at the 2023 Arnold Classic. And just overall, his physique looked dramatically better. So I don't think it would be the time to hang it up for Big Ramy, personally. If he does take this year off, I'd love to see him come back at next year's Arnold, maybe for some redemption, and try to go into the Olympia and just see what happens in 2024. I wouldn't mind that plan at all, but I'd love for Big Ramy to actually vocalize this, and then we can discuss who's going to win the 2023 Olympia. But I know that the fans of Egypt would want to see Big Ramy on that Olympia stage. I don't know if it will be, the deciding factor on whether he would compete or not. We know he's got a family. We know he doesn't want to compete forever in terms of like a long, long time. So could he just have one more run in 2024, try to do the double in terms of winning the Arnold and the Olympia? It hasn't been done by many guys before. It's been done by Brandon Curry. It's been done by Ronnie Coleman, I think. Well, Ronnie Coleman won it in it's been done by Ronnie Coleman. And yeah, only a few others really. I don't even know if Jay's done it. So yeah, that might actually be the only guys that have done it. So if he can do that, that would really put his name in the history books. Getting off 2 Olympia wins, having 3 sounds a lot better, and sort of, I suppose, separates him from any of those guys that have won 1 or 2, or I don't know if any pros have won 2 Olympias and that's been it. I don't think there is any, actually, to be honest. So I would love to see Ramy come back at least in some capacity. He's getting localized stem cells this time. Last time it was just through IV, which I think probably reduced the inflammation. Chad Nichols did say as well on that Bodybuilding University, I don't know which part it was, part 1, 2, or 3, all 3 parts are up now, that he did say that 100% the stem cells is what filled Big Ramy's quads holes out and helped his back and all that. So the fact that Chad Nichols is saying 100% that's what it was sort of tells me a lot of things. So I think that Big Ramy is going to be phenomenal next time he competes. Will it be the best Big Ramy? I don't know, but I think he's going to be much better than he has been in his last 2 appearances, and I think that he can potentially win back the Olympia. But it will be no easy feat because there's a lot of good guys that could potentially look very, very good. Samson Dowder, his latest updates are crazy. Derek Lunsford, he's insane and only improving. Hardy Chupin, can he get better? Can he get his, I suppose, fuller physique in his old condition? I mean, that would be almost knockout sort of physique on stage. Brandon Curry, he was much bigger last year, and people forget, had he just nailed the conditioning, which is a hard thing to do, that combination, he could have been the 2023 Mr. Olympia. So there is so many guys that I'm sleeping on saying that. Andrew Jack, who knows who else could jump in there. There's a ton of names. So very much excited for it. Massage Gun 56 says in the comments live, says Ramy should have won the Arnold. They screwed him. Honestly, if he had won, I would love to know what the reaction would have been from the fans. It could have been insanely positive. Who knows? But this is interesting, and I cannot wait to see if Big Ramy will compete in that 2023 Mr. Olympia. And I'm going to go to your poll results right now as well. Let me just pull it up. I'll just add that to the stream. And then, actually, I might have actually even got off the poll results, unfortunately. I'll try to I'll open up YouTube now. YouTube. Sorry guys, I'm just opening this up live as we do it. I have to open up the video. But yeah, like I said, let me know. Vote on the poll if you have not voted yet. Here we go. We can open up the video. And hopefully it doesn't play the sound. And here we go. So will Big Ramy compete at the 2023 Mr Olympia? 80% of you are saying yes. 15% are saying no. And then 5% saying no. I think he's retired. So wow. I'm a little surprised so many of you believe that he actually will compete in the 2023 Mr Olympia. I'm on the fence about it. Probably 60-40, so I'd probably vote yes in the same poll as well. But I'd be like 60% sure he's doing the Olympia, 65 maybe. And the other ones I'd say either no he's retired or no, because it's really hard to tell, honestly. It's most of these things that I see come out, I'm like, nah, probably not. But this one seems to have a bit more validity to it, and I think that potentially he might be missing that 2023 Mr Olympia. But I wanted to mention as well, before we wrap this daily bodybuilding news live up, I'm going to be posting this on the Desktop Bodybuilding Instagram page soon. This is the next Bodybuilding University. We have not recorded it yet. Get your questions in. We have Sergio Oliva Jr., we have Nathan Diasha, and we have Aaron Polides, Australian Top 10 212 Pro, and obviously myself on there as well. And we'll be taking your questions, not live on there, but we will be taking your questions on there as well. So make sure you get your questions in. And check out the latest episodes of Bodybuilding University, because there's plenty up right now, so make sure you check them out. But anyway, guys, I'll go to your questions quickly before I wrap this up, and your comments. The red loop saying, oh, getting a bit of lag on my video. Sorry, guys, I might have to wrap this one up a little bit early because it's lagging a bit. But anyway, guys, if you can hear me,